Greetings again, everyone. This is Cynthia Rivers coming to you from the beautiful city of New York. I'm down in the lobby of the Hampton Inn where we are staying as we have come to participate in the Carnegie Hall concert that is led by Dr. David Morrow of Morehouse. There are about 200 singers who will be singing on tomorrow evening at 7, and we're just happy to be in the number. But we're going to continue to do our videos concerning the Tawa conferences that is scheduled for June 12th through June 18th via Zoom, as well as some of the events are in person. And so today I'm going to give you an overview of our Friday agenda. But first I want to make a correction from Thursday. I failed to mention that there are concurrent sessions going on when Dana Rice does her children's music workshop in the afternoon on Thursday, that Adrienne Hardy will also be beginning her 6-hour workshop on replenishing the storehouse, which is a finance workshop that helps us to understand when you are starting a business and a ministry, what things do you need to have and do to set up your LLC, your 501c3, grant writing, and how do you go about getting grant and sources for money to finance your ministry. Probably a class that I should have taken before I embarked upon this conference. But we're into it, and so God is going to provide, and we just thank God that Adrienne is willing to come and do this 6-hour session. She's used to getting paid pretty well for it, and so I thank her for being able to come in and share with us in this venue. So remember, if you register for her conference or for her session, you will have to register for Thursday afternoon at 2, Friday morning at 9, and Friday afternoon at 2. So everything from Thursday afternoon to Friday will be her workshop, 6 or 7 hours long. So you're in for a great experience, and if you are trying to finance anything, this is a great thing to go to. And so that completes Thursday. In fact, that completes Thursday and goes into Friday. Now, let me tell you what happens Friday morning early. Our devotion leader for Friday morning is the Right Reverend Gabriel Stovall, lead pastor of the Macedonia Family Church, Augusta, Georgia. I had the opportunity of hearing this young man in a pastoral search, and he is a great preacher as well, and so you really don't want to miss him. And then from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., along with this part 2 of replenishing the storehouse, I will be doing part 1 of developing a rites of passage ministry around the No Jasaba principles, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. This is a program that we did successfully at the present Green Baptist Church in Nashville, Tennessee. And so we will be sharing with you the model that we created there and how we were able to empower young people to move on to successful careers in life. And so we had a summer program that we developed, but this could very well be used as an after-school program model, in that for the Umoja module, which is unity, we actually had the children engaged in learning how to love self first, then family, then community, then city, then state, then government. And so we did particular activities that were geared toward helping the children to understand what true love was, in terms of we're not talking about romantic love, but love conquers all. And so that's what the Umoja module was about. Understanding now that the children involved in this program were ages 3 through 16 years of age. And so we had to develop developmentally appropriate activities for the children to engage in. Then the second module, Kuja Shagalio, is one of my favorites, self-determination. And this module was concerned about knowing yourself, knowing where you came from, and making a plan for life. And so we did family trees and heritage studies and and the children were encouraged to understand who their foreparents were and how they came to be who they are, and then being determined to build on that legacy in a positive way. Then we had Ujima, collective work and responsibility. All of the children were required to be engaged in service projects, and we'll talk about how we did that. Then we had Ujamaa, cooperative economics, was our stewardship module, I should say. And so we dealt with banking and saving and investments, and we had persons who come in who had those expertise to teach the children on a regular basis and expose them to check writing and all of that. And now it's different stuff. You got to really have a heavy emphasis on investments. And so stewardship module was the Ujamaa. And then we have Near Purpose, another one of my favorites, which had students do career studies, and we had mentors and persons would go in. We had the children to we'd send them to mentors. If they wanted to be a doctor, they would spend a time with a doctor or a lawyer or whoever to see exactly what that job was about as they did their career planning. Kaumba, creativity, arts. We encouraged all the kids to be in some form of arts, dancing or sewing or music or painting, okay. And then the Imani faith. Most of the times in Imani faith, what we were doing is collecting data from churches because they got points for their involvement in Sunday school and Bible study and choir and ushering. And what we attempted to do in a lot of these modules is, if the kids were involved in various activities in the community or in their school that really contributed to this discipline, then we collected that data. We didn't reinvent the wheel. We only created courses like in Kuja Shagalia and what's another one that we have, and Umoja, wherein, with all of the crime that's going on now, we feel that love and learning to love is a very important part of life. And so kids are being taught more to hate than to love because of all the gun violence and all the vicious games they watch. But anyway, so that's an overview, and we'll go more into detail of how we taught this across different age levels from 3 to 16. You graduate from the program at 16, you begin it, and there's different levels based on a regressance model, which says that as African Americans we have a unique developmental path that we go through, and we'll talk to you more about the regressance model that really structures when we promote a child from one level to another. Okay, so that's the rites of passage. The first part will be from 9 to 11 on Friday, and the second part will be from 2 to 4 in the afternoon on Friday. At 11, we'll take our usual brunch break. And then at 12 noon, we'll have our final composer forum, which will be a round table of all of the composers that have presented during the whole week. And they have a very unique program that will be led by Dr. Karen Thomas on Friday from 12 to 2. Then at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, as I've said, we'll be having, Adrian and I both will be completing our rites of passage and replenishing the storehouse sessions. And at 5 o'clock, okay, so I'm down to another day now. Let me stop right here. Okay, so we'll have a lunch break from 5 to 7 and 7 to 8. Yours truly and Deacon Sam Smith of Second Mount Zion Baptist Church will be rendering a recital at the Mount Sinai Baptist Church in Atlanta. Now, I don't know, I think I said Deacon Sam Smith is a member of the Second Mount Zion Baptist Church. I'll make sure I got that right because I might have gotten my churches mixed up. But yes, and I'm glad that he will be doing that. We'll be accompanied by Dr. Adrian Ford, who just got his doctorate. And so we're so proud of Adrian that he's agreed to accompany us. And so, finally, the final activity on Friday, we'll be honoring the Aeolian Oakwood University Choir. A choir that is magnificent. They have won the National and World Choral Award 2 times, I understand. And unfortunately, their director has moved on to Maryland, and they have someone new, but he did wonderful work there. Jason did for 20 years. So we're going to honor the Aeolian Oakwood Choir on Friday evening. Thank you so much for listening to this Friday overview.